Hello, hello, and welcome, Facebookers. We are live tonight with Karen Ryce and your host, Susan Yockey. And this is the Harmonious Parents Show. And Karen is the co-host of this show. Let me just give you a little info about Karen and what she does and contributes to our world and having harmony in our families with our children. And I've actually known Karen for a couple of years now, right, Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's only been recent that I actually have Karen as a parenting coach, and we've had some amazing breakthroughs. And because I do have a daughter at home who is a toddler, she'll be 5 this summer, so she's getting close. So I'll just give you a little bit of info about Karen, a little background. She is absolutely amazing. Karen is a top parenting expert and has the most amazing secrets to helping you create harmony and respect with your children. And it doesn't matter if you're an educator or, grandparent, parent. You definitely are sure to shift your view about some of the ways that you are currently raising your children. And I don't know about you, but I do know for myself that I want to consciously raise my daughter and, do it in a way that is with, not fear-based. And Karen has been catalyst in helping me and empowering and inspiring me to do just that. But Karen she's also not just an expert coach, she's also an author, and she has been writing and teaching for more than 40 years and has successfully been teaching on creating harmony as well as the respect. She has been, her most recent book is called The One Rule, which Karen will be sharing with us tonight about. And I believe each episode that we do, or each show that we do, that's what Karen will be sharing, is the one rule, and offering a wide variety of tips and tools that she's created or has taught over this 40 years of experience. And out of that, it boiled down to this one rule. And so now she's on fire, very passionate about creating a world where our children can grow up in peace and harmony in families and continue that on generations to come. So how are you this evening, Karen?
Good. That's an awesome introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome. You deserve it.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah. I had some new thoughts recently connected with the one rule. There was somebody brought up the concept. I know last night I was reading, someone brought up the concept of paradigm shift. And you right now were talking in those terms of, I think of the one rule as the foundation for the paradigm shift into positive parenting, conscious parenting. The one rule is the foundation because it's clear, it's unmistakable, because it is agreement. And you can't mistake that. There's either agreement or there isn't yet agreement. So that was an interesting thing for me to come across, that if you get this foundation, you can do whatever form of parenting you want, as long as your foundation is what I call the one rule, agreement. You're going to come to an agreement. And what I have discovered working with children, because most of those years was working with children and parents, is that they come very quickly to agreement. I was thinking, once they realize it's an option, that, oh my goodness, we can find something we both like. We don't have to fight about it. They zip toward it. And especially, and this is kind of where the concept of rule comes in, because that's not a really, before this, I wouldn't have really gone with rules. I like guidelines. I like things more flexible. But the one rule, once they realize not only is it an option, but it's the option. Either we find agreement or we're not playing with that. Well, They find it fast. And once they break through that, they just keep going with it because it feels good to everybody. They don't have there's not fighting anymore. Everything works because same mindset of I'm important, you're important. We both deserve to have things go well for us, and we can do it. We know how to do it now. It just took a little mind shift for that to happen, and I think that's part of the whole paradigm shift, is shifting from one person, usually in this culture anyway, and in a lot of places I've been in the world, it's the adult who's in charge and gets to decide how things go. In some families, I know people let the kids decide, but they don't always get to be happy about it. So the one rule, both people, everybody involved gets to be happy about it. And if you, one of the because I know I've come across situations where adults are that they feel like, how is this going to work, if I'm not in charge? And they don't realize that in every situation there are possibilities that haven't been explored, which if you keep yourself strictly to the one rule, that's your foundation, you don't swerve on that, then everything else flexes, because it'll turn out that one person, well, they didn't really need it just exactly like this. This other thing works just as well for them, or the timing works different, or things that people hadn't thought of, they start coming into the mind because you want to find the agreement and you want to find it as fast as possible. So you can get on with things smoothly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I think that's just a little insert here, because I'm curious. I mean, especially today, you have a lot of parents, just always busy. They've got a lot already going on. Why would they want to take the time out to you know, learn something for their kids when they feel like they don't have enough time. I mean, does that make sense? Like, I mean, parents are just on the
Yeah.
go and just, I think, in a constant reaction mode.
Well, one of the things that you'll find by doing this is that you will end up overall, you will end up with a lot more time and with things going smoothly for you, where in the past you might have to yell and fight and whatever to get compliance, and that takes time and energy. It's a drain, I think.
Yeah.
I know, I've been there. So
Yeah. Me too.
whereas
And
this way, yeah,
yeah.
this way, all these future events, sure, this one time might take a little longer, but once you break through, it's so liberating in terms of time and energy and how you feel inside, and how you feel about yourself as a parent, even.
Yeah.
When things are going smoothly all the way around, it just feels a whole lot better. And it
Yeah.
does take a lot less time. So,
I think that's, because I think the way when I was, like, let's just say focusing a lot of work, or I've got a lot of this or that going, and that's not how I wanted it to be. And I was like that for years, even before my daughter was born, when I was raising my older, who are now adult kids.
yeah.
It was always the focus on being the provider, and it was always about getting them under control. And what I can say, incorporating what I've been learning and applying in my life with my daughter now, has been definitely a whole lot more peaceful. I get to enjoy her, and just the giving up the control thing, and giving up being in reactive mode, and being able to respond to her. So it was really practicing over here with me, how I was showing up for her. But then there's still things that come up, and it's like, okay, well, how do I deal with that? So for example, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Karen. Bella is, like I said, going to be 5, and she's our only daughter and our first daughter. We have 4 boys that we've raised, and and obviously we're a lot more conscious than we were when we were raising them. And one of the things that we didn't want to do was over spoil. But then there was that, well, but we want to spoil her because we can, financially we can. And there's also what goes on in my mind, I think, too, is, what people will say about, you shouldn't buy her toys all the time. That's what she'll expect, and she's spoiled. And I tried to even add like some verbiage to it. Well, she's joyfully spoiled, but what it's led up to today by doing that has, every time we go to the store, literally every single time we go to the store, she wants something. And we have said, no, we're not going to get that. And I want to teach her the law of attraction, right? And so I have some, like, I'm not sure how to do that. How do I teach her, a toddler? And then, but what she'll do after we say no is she starts throwing a fit, throws a temper tantrum. And then eventually we find a reason why we should give in. And it's really frustrating because it's like this little war. We want her to have what she wants. And at the same time, we
Right.
also want her to appreciate and be grateful and to be giving. I don't want to instill my past beliefs and limitations on her because of what society thinks the way it should be or shouldn't be. And I just want her to be happy. And I think all parents want their kids to be happy. So I'd love to know what you have to say about all that.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. No, the thing is, though, that this is a very common kind of experience. A lot of parents experience this, and it goes in all kinds of directions. I think, okay, first let's look at the one rule agreement. So whatever it is you decide, you want to make sure that it's agreeable to you and agreeable to her. And it seems that really you are both agreeable to getting her what she asks for when she goes out with you.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
We're pretty much agreeable.
The thing is, like, and you were talking about the law of attraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one thought I had was, is there another way in her life? Is there another way for her to get the things that need money for an exchange? I don't know, like, if she probably doesn't have jobs she can do where where you pay her for them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that she can start gathering her own money. So you guys are her way for this to happen,
right?
And but you're not feeling comfortable about it.
Yeah.
But it seems like you guys aren't.
Yeah, it kind of feels like you said, we love to buy her things, especially her dad.
Yeah, it's fun.
So I think what really, if you really look at it, and since we're talking about it and just kind of picking at it, I think what's really there is my concern about what society or my family, outside family members are thinking.
Okay.
Because of the stories or what you hear people saying about, you shouldn't buy your kid toys all the time because it only teaches them to be greedy. I'm just starting to.
I will tell you that.
Wow.
I haven't noticed that. A long time ago, I came up with this thing I called I wrote it in my first book, The Myth of the Spoiled Child, that really children getting what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, now I didn't know about law of attraction in those days, but that's the law of attraction and the path of least resistance. That's it in action there. And if you guys are at peace with getting her what she asks for, if you are inwardly at peace with it, it's, I can practically guarantee it's not going to end up badly in her life or your life or the lives of the people that she relates to. It's not like she becomes a spoiled person. She becomes a person that knows how to figure out what they want in life and find the least resistant path to getting it, the smoothest path. And the spoiled person is somebody that now the fighting part for it, that is tending toward the spoiled. That's actually pushing her more in that direction, because to me, a spoiled person is somebody that is determined to get what they want, and they don't care whether they upset anybody in the process, whether they hurt somebody, whether, you know, to me that is spoiled. But somebody who puts out what they want and it comes to them, that seems pretty cool. It seems pretty much in flow with the law of attraction, really.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly,
Yeah.
So that she's learning to be with flow, you know, or just, you know, like you said, a child, they see what they want, or they decide they want, the first thing they do is they decide this is
Right.
this is what children do, and we should take great lesson in this as adults, you
Yes.
guys. But so here she is, she sees something she wants and she's like, oh, I so want that, I gotta have that. Mom, Dad, I want that. And like you were teaching on the last episode, that is at the point, if you don't want them to have that or to do a specific thing, that's when you need to intervene, right? But
Right.
let's just, so that's where I could actually insert something like, how about this, and do an agreement. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Because I want to buy you this toy, and what I want is for her to learn how to have what she wants without being spoiled.
Right. Exactly.
So by intervening before she gets to what's the next step, once she's decided what's next,
Being determined
then
to get it.
she gets determined, and in the determination is when she's made up her mind, and there's nothing going to stop her, and she will throw a fit if you say no at that point. Okay,
right.
I'm getting this. So all the other stuff that's going on with me is more about, you know, me not looking good in society and all that stuff, and I like so willing to let that go. Okay, but if I don't understand that process of what you've taught, you know, just that one alone in itself is delicious. If I didn't understand that, what has been happening is she's already decided, and I always forget the word. So she's decided. The next step is what? Then she becomes determined.
And then perseveres until she achieves her goal or fails, which you don't want either, if at all possible, right? None of us want that.
Right. But, well, I don't know. Failing is good, you know. Failing is a good thing, because it's in the failing that we learn greater things. I don't know about that.
If we have to, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, okay, so using the one rule, because I can already see there's probably other, like I could see how I insert the agreement or the one rule in there. I would do that once she's decided. Or I could even do it before she's decided. Like Buck
Yes, you could.
and I just get on the same page about what we want for her, and come to some sort of agreement with her. And then if she happens to see something, I would probably need to remind her of that deal or that agreement that we made. Right?
Right.
Because what I don't want is for her to get to that place where she's like throwing a fit and she doesn't care what I think about or talk about, because she's already persevering.
Right.
So am I on track here?
Yeah, but the agreement is, it's a flexible thing, right? Because you have your agreement. Let's say you guys set up an agreement that it's okay for her to choose one thing. Let's just say, you know, one thing, and you guys all three agree before you go somewhere. And so she finds the one thing that, wow, I totally want this. And then as you're on your way out, there's that thing that just captivates her. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't even know. Then you know, you figure something out at that point. That it's flexible, because you still need to stay in agreement, even though there was this agreement made, and so far you'd all stuck to
flexible. Okay, like that, because so then you're bringing control back in. We came to an agreement. Yeah, I could see that leading down the path of,
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you figure it out, you know, you figure out like whatever works for the three of you. Anyway, whether it's that works for you.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Yeah, that's how it doesn't, that's how, if you keep the one rule, it's you from getting into this control over mentality. It cuts right through it.
Yeah.
It goes to the foundation, and if you hold on to it, and it's your foundation that you're creating, it'll become automatic at some, you know.
Yeah.
So not just for you, but for her, it'll become automatic. Like, okay, we had this agreement. Now we're going to have to find something that works for all of us.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's like, okay, I'm willing to do this. This feels good. I can see how happy it makes you. This connection I can see, or, you know, however it unfolds. But I think that having her understand that you and Buck or whoever is there is a valuable person. She is valuable, and whoever else is there is valuable. And together you're going to find something that works for all of you. And it can happen really quickly. It doesn't really, once you're in the habit of doing that, it doesn't take time. It doesn't,
That's awesome. So, and I was going to ask you about another way to work with her, but like I just got the entire answer that I can even apply to, you know, because she plays with a lot of toys. And by the way, like, she's completely okay with, like, we'll sit down, go through all of her toys, and we talked to her about, like, we're going to donate these toys and give them to people who otherwise can't have these kinds of toys. and she's completely okay with that.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean,
Very
just the other,
nice.
we
Very
just
nice.
cleared out 2 huge leaf bags of pool. But
There
I
you
could
go.
immediately see how obviously we'd have a big mess in the house. Um, and, sometimes she's completely okay with, yeah, I'll help you clean it up. But for the most part, she's not involved in that process. So I could see creating an agreement where it's fun for both of us and, well, for all of us, using the one rule.
Cool.
Awesome.
It's good. Yeah. One thing that's come up recently, it's been up before and now it's come up again, is I'm going to be on the lookout for people that would like to be able to not only teach the one rule, but learn, because the one rule actually came out a few months ago, maybe, of thinking about what is the least amount of stuff that I have learned, discovered, accumulated over all these years that helps kids grow up happy, that helps harmony in the family. What is the least that I could teach? And at that time, I was consciously aware of there are 108. I started writing them down for this one organization I was connected with. And it turned out to be 108 different tools, skills, and strategies. Tools are like a hammer. Skills is like how you use the hammer. And strategies are when and how you use the hammer. So, so I was thinking, the thing that's come up recently is I'm going to be on the lookout for people that would like to learn how to teach the one rule and learn these 108 tools, skills, and strategies, so that they can share them with other people in terms of giving classes or coaching or giving workshops, which I've done all of those things. So anyway, I just wanted to let people know that that's going to be out there. So,
Well, that's really exciting, Karen. So you're taking the one rule that you just wrote a book about just a few months back, and now you're taking that knowledge, which is actually 40 years worth of knowledge, out of 100. You've got like all these 108 skills, tools, strategies that you're teaching people, and you are looking for people, whether they be coaches, teachers, educators. Am I on the line there with that?
yeah.
Yeah, you're going to take those, people who are interested in adding this to their tool belt and taking it into our schools, taking it into our daycares, taking it to their homes, coaching parents. Right. And wow, can you imagine all these people who are certified to teach the one rule? That is beautiful. I absolutely love that.
Thank you, Susan.
So how do people connect with you to get signed up?
That's part of the process I'm working on. Right now, they could email me.
That they're interested? Just to email that they are interested? Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So it's coming. Do you know about when? Do you have an idea about when?
Let's say by the time we have our next show, I will have that down.
Awesome. That's cool. All right, so you guys heard it. So Karen's going to basically, it sounds like a university. Don't you have something like some sort of membership that you're going to also be launching for parents who happen to maybe meet up with these certified people, where they can
Yes, I
continue
do
their
actually.
learning?
Yep, I do. I have, it's called the Happy Kids member site, and you can sign up for it on my website page. Actually, I have a special deal there where
Mm-hmm.
you can sign up for the member site, and right now you'll get the weekly live calls as a bonus for signing up for that. You don't have to pay extra for those right now.
Oh,
So
awesome.
I call it the win-win-win offer, and it's right on my members. On my website. So,
Okay.
and it has not only articles and blog posts, but there are video trainings, there are videos, there are lessons written out. So whether you like to watch the video or read the lesson, or read the lesson and watch the video at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
so there are those there. So
Awesome. Yeah, I heard you've got a lot of value that's given to the members, and then you just recently launched this, so it's like, if you have not excuse me, if you have not heard of Karen, I invite you to go to her website, check her out, and read some of the stuff. And I can say, as my own personal testimony, as Karen being my parenting coach, the results have been phenomenal in my relationship with my daughter. And what I'm committed to in the world is that I raise a child who is giving, and who remembers who she is at a spiritual level, and she just is happy. Because when she's happy, obviously she's teaching others to be happy and contribute to that in the world. So, and it'll be whatever she wants to make it. She's already so imaginative, it blows my mind. Very creative.
yeah,
She's very creative.
yeah.
So awesome. Yeah. And I will post that website for everybody to connect with you if they're interested in signing up or learning more about becoming certified to teach the one rule. Or I'm sure if you just want her to come and speak at your classroom or your school, or I heard you do a little role playing. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
where you actually
we
have
have
the kids. Yeah, where you actually have the kids doing it.
yeah, that's how I first learned this. So yeah,
Awesome.
long years
That's cool.
ago.
Yeah. So I think that would be awesome, is for the parent and the child to play out, play in a play. They're the actors and actresses, and they're
Right.
playing out the scenario of what's not working at their household, and then working it out using the one rule. I think it's such a
Right.
beautiful idea.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, so I do want to acknowledge that we had a guest pop on and make a couple of comments, and I want to acknowledge her, Ragada. Ragada, we love you. Kisses, girl. And she said, hi, Karen and Susan. And she used to do the same thing with her boys when they were younger. They'd go through their toys together and donate a bunch. That's awesome. It teaches children to be generous and to share. That's cool. All right. Well, thank you for being here, Ragada. And the show will be available for replay. If you're someone who's on the go, It'll be on my podcast, which a link will be provided, or probably is already provided in the comments section. And then you can also watch it on YouTube channel. And you can find it either through Karen's YouTube channel or my YouTube channel. So it'll be out there. You can't miss us. So, and for future reference, for anybody who happens to chime in, we do have an offer, a live Q&A for guests. So if you're a parent and you have questions, or you have something that you're trying to work through with your child or your spouse, because it's, you're parenting and it's a together thing. So if you have questions, the one rule I can tell you not only works for children, works for adults as well. So, and teenagers, as long as they're willing participants. So,
Yep.
Is there anything you'd like to add to anything, Karen?
Yeah, just your last comment, as long as they're willing participants. One thing about is it's a great way to get them to be willing participants. There's a way, using the one rule, that gets them to buy into the process. So
really? Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like, because in my mind it went right to bribery. You know what I mean?
No, maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe our next session will be focusing on that.
Okay.
I'll write it down, see if that's how it goes. But
yeah, we'll have to see if that works. Also, in the comments, for the parents that watch the replay, or teachers or educators, just if you guys have any questions, or you would like to hear more on a specific topic area within parenting, how to potty train them, I don't know, how to get them to wipe their own butts, whatever your question is or idea that you have that you'd like to hear more of, post that in the comments as well, so that we can continue having really good conversations around conscious parenting. All right, so thank you for being here tonight. Karen, as always, lovely to see you. Namaste.
Same here. Namaste.